Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my bedroom floor. I know, can you believe it? The nostalgia. I don't know what happened. I went in a phase where I was like, I want to stand up and look out the window every time I film. But today I was like, you know what? I just want to be comfy. I want to be cozy. I want to bring it back to the old days. So here we are. And let me tell you something, the vibes are immaculate. Anyways, you guys, today I want to talk to you about how to protect your energy. This is so important, especially if you are an empath or a highly sensitive person, or if you're very psychic and intuitive, so you're constantly picking up other people's energy, or even if you don't resonate with any of that. Maybe you don't identify as an empath, but if you are someone who, after being around a group of people or even talking on the phone with somebody, you end up feeling drained. You are energetically exhausted. You might even feel emotions that you weren't feeling before you interacted with that person, and you're just like, what is going on? If that sounds like you, then this video is for you. I know from my own experience, I used to be a chronic people pleaser, and I'm very sensitive to energy. So I would constantly find myself just feeling like my soul had literally gotten sucked out of my body. I would be so exhausted after spending time with people that it would carry over even into like the next day. I would literally feel like dead to the world. Once I became aware of the fact that I'm just very sensitive and I'm very tapped into energy and to people's emotions, I started to implement these new healthy habits, and it completely changed my life. I no longer feel energetically drained. And if I do, it's because I did not take the proper precautions. But I am just gonna let you know now that this video is not going to be about sage and black tourmaline, okay? We're actually gonna talk about practical steps that you need to be taking. I know practical is not really like on brand for me, but just trust me on this one. You need to implement these new healthy habits in order to truly protect your energy. I see it often, and I was guilty of this at one point, so no judgment for me, but people will be like, why does my toxic ex-boyfriend keep coming back into my life? I went to Reiki and I'm carrying rose quartz. And it's like, girl, your toxic ex is coming back into your life because you keep responding to his 2 a.m. text messages, okay? Your rose quartz is sitting in the corner of the room looking over at you, snuggling up with your boo, being like, you are not going to truly be able to protect your energy from some external object or anything outside of yourself. You have to take control and power over your own energy. That way you aren't leaving yourself energetically open for anyone to take from you or take advantage of you. So that is what we are going to talk about today. But really quickly, before we jump into this, I just want to say thank you guys so much. Last night we hit 3,000 subscribers, and I am so excited, and I'm truly so grateful. Thank you, all of you, for being on this journey with me, especially those of you who've been there since the very beginning. Thank you for watching my videos and subscribing and liking my videos and sharing my videos. Thank you for being a part of the Turtle Gang. You guys are my people. Like, literally, you guys have seen it all. You've seen me at my lowest, my highest, everything in between. I hope that I add value to your life in some way. Anyways, thank you guys so much for all your support and being along for the ride. I cannot wait to see where my channel goes in the future. All right, you guys, so let's get down to business here. How to actually protect your energy. So the very first thing, and you're gonna see that I'm gonna kind of go through these backwards, but I'm starting with like the most important one first. Whatever, you'll see what I mean. You have to get comfortable setting healthy boundaries. For a long time, I honestly did not even know what that meant when somebody would tell me that like I needed to set boundaries. I didn't know what that looked like. And if you really want to simplify what setting boundaries looks like, it's honestly having the ability to say no. But saying no can look like many different things, right? So one way to say no is to just simply say no. Maybe it looks like declining an invite, right? If somebody invites you somewhere and you just don't have the energetic bandwidth for it, just simply saying no. Setting boundaries means you do not always say yes to everything. How many of you feel bad when you say no? You feel like you're gonna let someone down, you're disappointing them. Saying no does not equate to disappointing somebody. You're allowed to say no. Not responding to a text message right away if you don't have the energy to do so right now. Telling somebody that you can't talk to them right now. How many of you are the go-to person that people call when they're having a bad day, when their life is in shambles, when they're having a crisis, when their boyfriend broke up with them, when they need to vent, when they're in distress? They call you, they want your advice, they want you to listen. I'm sure most of you are nodding your head like, yep, that's me. But then what happens? You get stuck on the phone for 3 hours and you do sit there and hold space for them and help them because you want to, right? You want to help them, you want to be there for them. But then at the end of the phone call, 3 hours later, they feel great, their spirits are uplifted, but you're feeling depleted. Another way to set boundaries is to set time limits on things. So let's say that you know that being around your family members can be a negative experience for you that is energetically draining. That doesn't mean that you call them up and say, hi, you're an energy vampire, so you're never going to see me again. Have a nice life. You just set boundaries for yourself. You still go and see them, but you make a commitment to yourself that you're only going to stay for 2 hours because you know that you can't handle much more than that. People will ask me, well, what if it's somebody that I can't avoid, somebody that I have to see at work, or a family member that I live with and I can't avoid them? You can still set boundaries. In fact, you should definitely be setting boundaries if it's somebody that you can't avoid and you're going to be forced to see them. A great way to set boundaries is to simply not enable behavior that you know drains your energy. So if you live with somebody that loves to argue with you about politics and you already know that being around them, they are going to do that, simply do not engage. Don't entertain the conversation. They are probably going to stop talking because they're going to realize how silly it looks that they are arguing with themselves because you're not arguing back with them. What I always remind myself of is that at the end of the day, I am always going to be committed to my inner peace. So what is more important? Entertaining this same nonsense that this person is always projecting at you, or your inner peace. Your inner peace is always going to win. You do not have to respond to every single person that talks to you. You do not have to fight every battle that you are presented with. Your inner peace always comes first. And obviously, you want to show up for people. You want to support people. You want to spend time with them and go to dinner with them and talk to them on the phone if they need help. I already know that if you're watching this, you're somebody that you feel obligated. You want to help people. You want to be there. You feel like it's your duty to some degree, right? What's important is just making sure that you have the energy to do it in that moment. You have to take care of yourself first. I know it's cliche, but you truly do have to fill up your own cup. You are doing no one any favors if you are neglecting yourself to constantly show up for other people. But the thing with setting boundaries is that you have to actually honor those boundaries. Set boundaries and then stay committed to them. Setting boundaries are acts of self-love. When you set boundaries, you are saying to yourself, I love and respect myself enough, and I am committed to my inner peace enough that I am not going to neglect myself for anybody. When you first start setting boundaries, it's going to be uncomfortable and you're honestly going to feel like an asshole. But I promise you, you are doing a disservice to yourself when you refuse to set boundaries. And I promise you that the more you do it, the easier it becomes, and it starts to become very empowering. It will honestly boost your confidence and your self-esteem. You will begin to really love yourself the more that you honor yourself and you honor your boundaries. And some people are not gonna like when you set boundaries, but guess what? People that get mad at you when you set a boundary, well, now you know that they were taking advantage of the fact that you had no boundaries. You don't want to be giving your energy away to people like that. Having healthy boundaries is going to save you from feeling energetically drained. All right, the next thing you need to do, make it a habit of checking in with yourself and getting in tune with your own energy. Because here's the problem. When you are a very empathic person, the lines become very blurred very easily as far as what is my energy and what are my emotions and what belongs to somebody else. And that's because you're sensitive to energy. You are picking up on the energy of people that you talk to, people that you interact with, random people that you come in contact with for a brief moment. You're picking up on the energy of the world at large, right? Current events and things that are happening in the world have a really heavy impact on you. So that's another tip. Turn off the news. I'm not saying don't be informed on what's going on in the world, but as soon as the news starts to affect your emotional state, done, turn it off, take a break. But it's really important that you become aware of your own energy and that you're checking in with yourself on a regular basis. Now, how do you actually do this? Well, you need to do some sort of introspective work or introspective ritual. Now, I'm not going to go on a rant about meditation because you guys have heard me talk about that plenty of times before, but meditation is a great way to check in with yourself. When you meditate, you are getting to know thyself. You're able to discern and you become aware of your own thoughts, your own emotions, your own energy. And so as you do that, it becomes much easier in your day-to-day life to notice when you're feeling energy that doesn't actually belong to you. You could also journal. Journaling is a great way to do that introspective work and check in with yourself and how are you feeling. Even just simply taking a moment to sit in silence, take a deep breath, and have a conversation with yourself and ask yourself, okay, how am I feeling right now? Like really, how am I feeling? What sensations am I feeling in my body? What emotions am I feeling right now? Can you identify what emotions you're feeling? Can you name the emotions that you're feeling? Once you do that, you're going to be aware of your own energetic frequency. You're going to be aware of how you feel right now in this moment. So then when you do come into contact with somebody else that has sad or depressing or heavy energy or angry energy or whatever it is, if they project that energy onto you, you're immediately going to know that it doesn't belong to you because you know yourself. You know that that's not yours. And if somebody invites you somewhere or wants to talk to you on the phone or whatever the case may be, ask yourself, do I have the energetic bandwidth for this right now? Can I handle this right now? And in order to know whether or not you can handle it, you've got to check in with your own energy. And if you aren't checking in with yourself, if you're not aware of your own energy, you are going to resent yourself later because you are going to agree to things and make decisions that you don't actually want to make or that you just simply don't have the energy to do right now. So check in with yourself and then set boundaries accordingly. Maybe you feel great that day and you're in a really high vibrational state and you want to go out of your way to help somebody out, or you want to listen to somebody else's problems because you can handle it right now. It's not going to leave you feeling drained. Protecting your energy is all about taking these precautions. So the last tip that I have for you guys, I want you to be very honest with yourself about the roles that different people play in your life. Be really honest with yourself about the relationship dynamic that exists between you and another person. We all have people in our lives that are maybe energy vampires or they have a negative attitude, so being around them really brings you down. You know the people in your life that are really uplifting and supportive and make you feel good, and you know the people that after spending time with them, that's when you feel that energy depletion, that exhaustion. And it doesn't mean that they're bad, evil people. A lot of people wander around Earth unconsciously projecting their energy onto other people. There are a lot of people that are not conscious of what they project out into the world. They don't even realize that they are dumping their heavy energy onto you and making you feel exhausted. They're literally not aware of it. If you have a friend that you never really talk to, they never ask you how you're doing, you don't hang out with them, but every 6 months they call you when their life is in shambles and they're having a crisis and they need to vent to somebody and they need you to listen and they need your advice and they don't know what to do and their energy is all over the place and chaotic. If you already know that that is the type of energy that you are going to get from this person, that is the relationship dynamic that exists between you guys, then be aware of that. Remind yourself of that when they are calling you. And then what do? You check in with yourself. Do I have the energetic bandwidth to have this conversation right now? And then once you check in with yourself, you set boundaries accordingly. What happens all the time is, I will constantly hear people, and I used to do this too, constantly complain that this person sucks the energy out of them and it's so frustrating to deal with them. And it's like, well, because you're not setting boundaries with that person, you're enabling it, you're allowing it. So it seems kind of silly if you already know what to expect out of somebody and then you keep being surprised when they leave you feeling depleted. And obviously, there's plenty of things that are out of our control. We can't always, control or take precautions in every situation. Maybe we unexpectedly interact with somebody or interact with a stranger and they're projecting their energy onto you. The thing is, even though you can't predict every single encounter in your life, if you are already used to setting boundaries and checking in with yourself energetically and emotionally, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to set boundaries in the moment or know how to react in the moment and be able to observe and not absorb somebody's energy, because you already are equipped with the tools to stay in your own power, to stay in control of your own energy and not open yourself up energetically for somebody to take from you. And again, I want to reiterate, it doesn't mean people are bad and they're out to get you and steal your energy. I mean, some people are, but they don't even realize that they're doing it. Most people do not realize the effect that they're having on you. And it's just the simple fact, if you are very sensitive to energy, then you have this responsibility. You need to be responsible for your own energy, or you're gonna continue to feel exhausted, even just talking on the phone or going to work. But if you take these precautions, if you check in with yourself, if you set healthy boundaries, I guarantee you your energy is going to be so much more stable. Your emotions will be more stable. You'll just be all around happier, and you're not going to feel that drained feeling like your soul has been sucked out of your body. It is up to you to take control of your own energy and remain in control of it. And of course, using crystals, doing Reiki, taking salt baths, using sage and Palo Santo and all of the things, that's great. You could do that too. It does work and it does help, but it really has more to do with you taking control of your own energy and being responsible for your own energy and not relying on your black tourmaline to keep you safe from energy vampires. So that about wraps it up for me today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Leave me comments down below. How do you protect your energy? What do you do? What is your ritual? Tell me all of the things. I want to know. And thank you guys again so much for 3,000 subscribers. You know the drill. If you made it to the end of this video, leave a turtle emoji in the comment section. And one last thing before I go, my life outside of YouTube is about to get so terrifyingly busy. It's not really terrifying. It's actually exciting, but I'm about to be really busy over the next 8 weeks. So I will probably be kind of MIA from YouTube because I will not have the time or the energy to film. I'm going to try and film some videos if I can, but if I go MIA, it is not because I am having a mental breakdown, dark night of the soul again. Everything is fine. I will be back, but please come follow me on Instagram, especially if you guys want regular astrology updates. I'm always posting about astrological stuff on my Instagram and keeping you guys in the know with the astrology. So please come follow me over there. I'll put it here somewhere and it's always down in my description box. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here with me. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I don't know what you're waiting for. Rude. Anyways, I love you. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.